Hey everyone, it's Benny Chavez with Prudential California Realty, and I'm here with Mike Simpendorfer again. And today we're going to talk about this new program and what it is. It's called CHF Platinum. It's something totally new. We're getting buyers into homes with $4,000 only out of pocket. It's really incredible. It beats FHA. Really, let's have Mike talk to us about it, because I think it's incredible that for the same amount of money that you would use for a deposit, first month's rent to go into a property, to go rent, here you're going to have the opportunity to buy a home. So let's go with Mike.
Benny, over the last 90 days, the banks have realized we got to do things to help people to get into a house. Some of the buyer assistance programs are pretty complicated. It becomes a turn-off to the buyer and the seller. So we realized, let's get it down to simplicity. Simplicity meaning, if we could put 3% cash grant, that's the key word, cash grant, of the loan amount into the transaction, how does that help the buyer? And so you take a look at a $200,000 to $300,000 house, and you go to the buyer and say, I can put in, $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 of assistance from the bank, not the government, but the bank itself. Does that help you buy a house? And what we have found over the last 30 to 60 days, obviously the answer is yes. Because when you go to a customer and say, if I can get you $6,000 of assistance that you don't have to pay back, there's no tax consequences, you don't have tax recapture issues that you have with other programs, it's simply a gift into the transaction from the bank.
Okay.
Does that help you buy a house?
Definitely.
Well, it does. It makes a big difference. Yeah. And what's even more interesting is a lot of times we have found is the customer often had the cash, but to let loose of all their money, they didn't sleep well at night.
Yeah, exactly.
So now they're looking at, okay, I put some money into the transaction, I get the seller to help pay some closing costs, now I got the cash grant coming in from the bank, and I get to keep some of my money so I can sleep better at night, or paint, or carpet, or do some things that they personally want to do to the house. We're finding now the buyer's actually excited to go out and take a look at a piece of property.
Yeah.
The other thing that we like from the lending standpoint, and the listing agent will like, it's a regular FHA transaction.
Okay.
It's also a regular VA transaction. So that way you don't have what we call additional second signature requirements.
Yeah.
For instance, if you use CHFA, you have to approve the loan, then it goes to Sacramento, and CHFA has to approve. So a lot of times the problem is the seller, they're not going to give you 75 to 90 days to get done.
To wait on it, of course.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so it becomes a real frustration for the buyer.
Yeah.
We don't have that issue of needing the second set of signatures, as they say in our business,
Definitely.
of getting this approved. It runs it through the regular FHA process. You can actually get escrow done in 45 to 50 days. The keys, into the buyer's hands. You take a look at a transaction of $200,000 to $300,000, and you're injecting cash into the transaction. The buyer only has to sign a gift letter because the money's being gifted.
Okay.
Because it's being done through a nonprofit that is HUD sanctioned, it makes it a legitimate transaction.
Okay.
So when we found out we had that opportunity to pick up the program a couple months ago, we
Take advantage of it.
Yeah, we looked at it and go, wow, it turns it into what we want. Simplicity, easy for the buyer to understand, easy for the realtor who represents the buyer to make offers that are credible, easier for the listing agent to say, oh, isn't that nice? And they agree to take your transaction because you're not asking for 90 days that you need with some of these other programs.
Correct.
And then we found, the customers have constantly told us in the feedback, hey, you know what, I liked it. I got 4, 5, 6 grand. It helped make me a home buyer instead of a renter. The reality is they come in with $3,000, $4,000 cash out of their pocket. Well, that's what they would end up putting up to get into a house anyway as a renter.
Yeah.
Instead now they're an owner.
And Mike, what about repayment on this?
There is none.
That's the beauty of it.
We looked at it and go like, wow, what a beautiful thing. Some of your other programs are actually second mortgages.
Correct.
This one's not.
Yeah.
It's not a second mortgage.
That's awesome.
And it's pure money funded into the transaction.
Yeah.
So that way people can buy a house.
Another question, Mike, I know on a lot of people's minds out there, they think credit scores, how important are they? What's the minimum credit requirement on this?
Well, the urgency is right now a lot of the banks have raised the minimum credit scores to 640 on FHA.
Okay.
This program is still at 620.
Wow.
How long that'll stay in place, I don't know.
Yes.
So we're being real direct with buyers saying, look, you've got that window of opportunity for credit scores a little bit on the lower side to get out there and shop.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait. It's not going to cost you any money for me to pre-qualify you. I don't charge upfront application fees.
Correct.
We don't charge to pull the credit.
Yeah.
So as I share with people, gather the paperwork. Let's get together, meaning your tax returns, paychecks, and bank statements.
Yes.
Let's take a look. Let's put together a complete picture. And then let's see, does that dollar amount allow you to get what you want for a home? And let's go take a look. And then, of course, as people know, when you represent them as a buyer, there's no fee to them.
Correct.
Because and a lot of times people think they have to pay fees to their agent. I'm like, no, there's no fee.
Not at all.
The seller pays that cost.
Correct.
And so that way it's a win-win. They're not putting up upfront application money. They're not putting up money with you. So let's take a Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning, or a Thursday late afternoon, early evening, and let's find out the answer to the questions.
Correct.
And let's see what shopping power is available.
Definitely. And I think at the end of the day, what's most important for you guys out there, if you're considering, maybe it's that time that you were looking out there to go and rent somewhere else, come in. It only takes that first initial step to come in, sit down with me and Mike, and determine whether or not you qualify for this program, which is a great advantage for you right now. $4,000 could possibly get you into your home. So definitely take that first step to come in, sit down with me and Mike, and get this done. Mike, again, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Benny.
We appreciate all the information that you bring, and please keep stay tuned to this channel here on YouTube, because we will be bringing Mike back every week to get more lending information for you. Thank you again for your time. Make it a great day.
Thank you, Benny.